Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon. This is Dan.
What's going on? It's Justin with him.
And my buddy Justin. You know, the setup looks a little bit different. This is actually our second take. I don't got Jason to kick me in the ass to make sure everything's running correctly. So we're going to kind of do what we got left of this little bit of bourbon now. So we're doing a review on the Bibb & Tucker's 6-year. It's an easy to find bottle. It's not going to break your pockets. You're going to spend anywhere between like $59 and $69 for a bottle of this.
Good price. Good price.
Your wife's going to kill me for feeding you this much alcohol.
I told her I'm converting anyway.
Converting to bourbon.
She know how I was going to be coming home.
So Justin's going to do the one sip challenge for the third time tonight. So he kind of already has an idea what he's going to say. So go ahead, let's do the one sip challenge.
Let me sip this one more time. It's like every time it gets a little smoother though.
Yeah.
Like every time, first take it was a little smooth. This time second time it was smoother. This time it's going down like water.
It's because your palate's really like feeling it now.
Yeah, it's adapted to it.
So any burn?
You get a touch, just a touch.
Yeah.
Just a touch. Right now, the first time I sipped it, I got a little touch of the burn.
Yeah.
Nothing heavy though. But now it's going down so smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the ice or what.
Yeah. Justin really doesn't know much about bourbon. We're walking him into it. We had a little bit of Blood Oath Pack 10 before the show, and he enjoyed that. But we figured we'd go with something everybody could find, or somebody walking into bourbon, a little bit of a lower proof. Mm-hmm. And I figured Bibb & Tucker would be a good one because you can find it just about anywhere.
Yeah.
So what flavor notes do you pick out?
Now, I'm tasting a little more flavors now.
You know? See, usually that's what happens. As the ice melts, and everything else, you'll see those changes in the flavor profile of the bourbon.
Like the first sip, it was good, but now on the third, I could tell, like I could taste it's flavorful.
Yeah,
like there's aromas, and I could taste the oak in there, the little hint of some fruit in there. It's
Do you taste the apple yet? Because I always get apple with Bibb & Tucker for some reason.
I don't know if it's apple.
Yeah,
I could taste fruit.
Yeah,
I taste a fruit touch.
Yeah.
Let me see. And it has a good aroma too.
Yeah, it's very smooth. It's very enjoyable.
I like the aroma.
The thing I love and don't love at the same time is the bottle. So you see the bottle's very dark. So unless you hold it up to the light, you can never really tell how much you got left. And there's not very much left of this bottle. But, you know, this is our third, fourth pour maybe. So the color's a little bit different normally than what it would be. It'd be a little bit darker, but it still has that beautiful brown. Mm-hmm. You know, Justin doesn't do brown.
I hate brown. But I'm converting.
Converting them to bourbon.
Converting to bourbon.
So, you know, me and Justin, we've known each other for basically our entire lives.
Pretty much.
We grew up from across one another growing up. So as, you know, toddlers and everything else, you know, every day playing around, listening to Michael Jackson back in the 80s and just being a bunch of knuckleheads. Yeah. So we're catching up, and Justin has some questions for me. I had some questions for Justin just to really get caught up on how life's going and, you know, how our lives went. Yeah.
Where we been.
Yep.
Well, a couple first questions I want to ask. Let me get started with, well, we're going to get back into the bourbon. We'll get back to the bourbon. First, I want to ask your favorite bourbon, hands down. No games.
Hands down right now, and it's you ask any bourbon drinker, it's going to change year to year.
Okay.
Some people say, no, this is my go-to. Chicken cock in my heart's always my everyday pour. Everybody knows that, but Most recently, we did a podcast a few episodes ago with the Wild Turkey Master's Keep Voyage Edition.
Okay.
That goes for like $280, $300 a bottle. But it was absolutely like silky smooth.
Sounds like
very just enjoyable bourbon.
Okay.
We had it straight. We had it on the rocks. Just a good solid pour.
Okay. People gotta understand you gotta pay to play sometimes.
Sometimes, but I tell them, there's a lot of
Like
good bourbon.
this is a good price for this though.
And that's what I say a lot of times, and Jason will say it a lot of times, you don't got to break your bank to get a good bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
Like some of the Broken Barrel bottles I was showing you over there, I think they go for like $59 to like $79, which,
that's
normal
good,
with the
good
inflational
numbers.
market. And then I was showing you some of the higher end bottles. The market for some of the higher end, they may be like on the market $140, $150, but secondary you're paying
what you're getting.
$280, $300.
You know what you're getting when you pay that much.
But that's why I stick with my everyday pour with the chicken cock, because it's just you can buy it direct online. If you go to Ohio, West Virginia, you can find it pretty easy.
Okay.
But it's a good solid pour and it's enjoyable.
Okay.
I think that's the thing you're learning too. The more bourbon you're drinking, because I walked you in a couple weeks ago. Every bourbon tastes different. We were talking about how depending where that wood was collected from, where they made the barrels.
Yes.
You might be peaches, you might get apple, or whatever was growing around those trees before they became barrels is going to pull those flavors.
I never really knew the science to it. There's a science to bourbon, if you didn't know. There's a science. Like your barrels, it's about how you cure your bourbon. You can have something special.
Yeah, and like I said, like I was showing you on the labels, the different batches and everything. So that's why some of the batches, they may be a couple years old, and now you're reaching deep into your pockets.
Yeah.
Because each barrel will produce anywhere between like 100 to 260 bottles a barrel, depending on all the seepage and evaporation and everything else, and how many times they thieved from the barrel to decide if it's ready to pull or not.
So if you like something from a barrel, once that is gone, you could get the same brand, but you won't get that same bottle again. That barrel's done.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's
like crazy.
And that's why some of these bottles go for ridiculous amounts. Like I was showing you the Stag, where it shows like it's a batch 23B or 21A.
Yeah.
And some of the other barrels that got the stamp, what barrel and everything else.
See, I'm learning a lot. I ain't gonna lie, I'm learning a lot about the bourbon. I didn't know it was this serious.
Yeah, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, I just want that." Like you could get a lot of the bourbon companies. They'll come out with their single barrels or small batch. It's just that select barrel is going to taste different than the rest.
No two barrels will be exactly the same.
Yeah, this is one thing that I love about bourbon. The different flavor profiles you're going to get on each bourbon.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes it exclusive.
So what else do you have for me?
So let's see where we're gonna go with it now. Right now we're gonna go with wanted to ask about soldiers drinking fruity drinks.
Okay.
Is it tolerated with the soldiers?
So here's the thing. I know you want to crack jokes, but I caught you drinking some fruity drinks when you were on vacation in the islands. I seen the pictures.
That was supposed to be on the hush.
It's acceptable when you went at a beach.
When you on the beach on the island, you could do it.
You could do it. But no, I mean, we always say people are going to like what they like.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't drink bourbon with ice. You should drink it straight or neat." But everybody likes what they like. As far as soldiers drinking fruity drinks, hey, truthfully, most of the young soldiers, they can't afford those fruity drinks. We're drinking Bud Light, Coors, Miller.
Okay.
Just your
beers,
regular typical beers, or your regular over the counter liquor like Captain Morgan, whatever gin, Ciroc vodka, Henny.
The regular.
Yeah, just your everyday stuff.
Get your hands on.
Because when you're a soldier, you're usually 20s, 30s. you ain't rolling deep into money.
Okay.
Usually you see some of the females, they'll go out, they'll order the fruity drinks, fruity shots. Most of the guys, they're going to stick to their Jack Daniels and Bud Light for the most part.
Okay. What about speaking of females? What's going on with the female soldiers? Is it considered fraternizing when you mess with another soldier, a female soldier?
So when we go into the dating world, it's the military. It is so difficult dating in general, because like a lot of times, the Army usually they're deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan when I was in 12 to 15 months at a time.
Okay.
My career in the Air Force, we were deployed for 6 months, back for 4 months, trained for like a month and a half, and then back out the door for another deployment. But when it came to dating, it's kind of hard because they don't want you, if you're in a supervisory position, to be dating somebody that you can possibly supervise.
Okay.
So like if you're an E1, 2, 3, 4, if you're any one of those 4 ranks, you can go ahead and date one another. But like once you hit like E5 and E6, an E5 and an E6, they could date an E5 or an E6, but they can't date E4, E3, E2, E1.
Okay.
And then, once you get to become a senior NCO, obviously you can't date a junior NCO and everything else. So the dating pool gets very limited. And if you get caught, they either call it unprofessional relationships, or if you're dating an officer and enlisted, then it's fraternization. Depending on how command wants to handle it, usually you'll get like maybe a letter of reprimand and a cease and desist, like, hey, you need to kill this relationship.
Okay.
Or they get stupid and they hit you in your pockets. They say, better. They'll slap you with an Article 15 and take your rank.
Oh, man.
So they'll drop you down a rank.
Okay.
But then at that point, hey, I'm the same rank as that soldier.
If you want to mess with a lower rank, here you go.
Yeah, we'll make you that lower rank.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of times you see a lot of military people get married very young because, one, once you're married, you're allowed to get out of the dorms.
Okay.
You're allowed to get out of the barracks in the Army and go live off base and make that extra money. But at the same time, like, I know when I was going to transition from like E4 to E5, you're about to put on E5 in like 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. And like those higher NCOs are, hey, you can't be hanging out with those E4s and below anymore. You about to be a sergeant, so you need to be hanging out with the sergeants. And it kind of just really dictates your life to where the dating pool gets smaller and smaller the more rank you make with soldiers or airmen on base. But the dating pool, once you go outside, who doesn't love a man in uniform, right?
Hey, so do you know anyone that ever had their heart broke? Was anybody ever in there crying? Oh,
there's constantly people crying. I mean, being in the military dating,
it's rough.
It's rough. Like I say, you constantly deploy. Like, I don't know how many guys, they get a care package over in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever we were, and it'd have like some magazines, some like snacks and whatever. At the bottom of the box would be some divorce papers.
Oh, man.
Or that Dear John letter.
Oh, man.
And it's just like, you over in Iraq and Afghanistan, like you can't do nothing. Guys would lose their mind. But you see guys break down. You see women break down.
It's real.
It's real.
I see a lot of stuff on Instagram when people come home and find their wife cheating and didn't know husbands was coming home and stuff.
Oh, yeah. You see a lot. I don't want to say a lot, but it happens. It happens more than it should, which is sad. Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the things that always pushed me away from getting too serious too quick, because I knew how often I deployed, because I was like, I come home, I find wifey in bed with somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm catching a case.
I'm going crazy.
I'm catching a case, and I was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I ain't going to be one of those guys, meet somebody, hey, first 2-3 months, hey, let's go get married. You get a lot of that in the military because, like I say, you're home for a couple months and then you're right back at the door. And this was during like Iraq, Afghanistan. I don't think is as bad now because deployments have kind of turned down a little bit. So we're not heavily in Afghanistan. We're not heavily in Iraq like we were.
Okay.
But I mean, people were still getting deployed to the Middle East, Central America, Africa, and Asia.
Do you think relationships are messing up people's focus? Or do you think people still focus and go just as hard?
It depends on the person. Like it's person to person. Some people can do it, but be like, okay, hey, it is what it is, and focus on mission.
Like, I'm mad, I'm about to tear everybody up.
And then other people just
broke down,
ready to swing on everybody for no reason.
Okay.
Okay. Not any two people is going to handle the same situation the same way.
Yeah. So, how's it feel converting to the podcast?
So, I don't like speaking in front of a camera. I can do classroom work. So before I got out of the military, I was doing instructing security forces over in England. Mm-hmm. So my day-to-day was standing in front of like groups of anywhere between like 20 to like 60 people, giving them instruction and training them.
Yeah.
So that was easy. But it's, being in front of a camera, having the microphone, everything else. Yeah. It's like, how do you look natural and do this without looking too stupid? At least in the classroom, I could get up, walk around.
Yeah.
Now
it's like you got the eyes on you.
You got the eyes on you. It's like, man, is this shirt making me look fat? Is my hat too low? Is my beard too gray? Do I got to go touch it up for some just for me?
Yeah. Okay.
But it's the podcast has been interesting. I mean, we're growing, not as fast as we would like, but we're still growing. We're still young. We've been at it since April.
Touching in with other cities.
We're starting to. I like the analytics with the podcast, so it shows where we're growing, where we're not.
Okay.
But I think the one thing I like about the podcast community in general, like I could reach out to another podcast and be like, hey, what has worked for you? What has worked for you?
Okay.
Like when we first started out, we had shitty equipment. Like I thought spending like $200 on a mixing board and mics was like, okay, that's some good money. But the quality was garbage.
Okay.
And then, we got with Sam from the Cigar Junkies. He had us over and was like, hey, this is the setup we're using. This is how we're using this.
Okay.
We also got with them Trams Ginzers in Pittsburgh. They're like, hey, this has worked for us. This hasn't worked for us. So I think that's the one thing. It's like podcasters, nobody's in comption.
That's what's up. What's up. Nobody's hating. Everybody's willing to help.
Everybody's willing to help and be like, hey, this works. This didn't work for me, might work for you.
So the podcasting is a good community.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you see it with Joe Rogan. Like he always has like all these other comedians and podcasters on. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura.
Mike Tyson podcast.
Mike Tyson. And like they're all about, hey, we'll come on your podcast. You come on our podcast. Chop it up.
And that's what a lot of people will do too. Go on your podcast. You come on ours. I was watching Big Ben. You ever watch Big Ben's podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He has one. Cam Hayward has one.
You watched Big Ben and James Harrison?
No, I didn't see that one. Was that the one where James Harrison was like, I lit his ass up in college?
Yeah, he said this guy Raffleberger or something like that. They called him.
Yeah.
Acting like he didn't know his name. He said, I was tearing him up. He said, I think I got 7-8 sacks that game.
Yeah.
I said, oh, man.
See, that's the great thing with it. Like, have you watched the Kelsey's podcast?
Yeah.
They got a good one.
I saw them on Ben's, too.
Yeah. They got a good one. And then, what's his name? He was the receiver for the Patriots.
Edelman?
Is it Edelman?
What was it? I know they had Julian Edelman.
It wasn't Amendola. Maybe it was Edelman. I don't know. Whoever played for the Patriots.
Yeah, I didn't know
who was in love with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say Tom Brady made everybody a star. I didn't even know the stars on the team.
Yeah, but his podcast is good. And he's been on the Kelsey's podcast.
Okay.
Everything else.
Yeah, I just saw him on something too.
Yeah.
Did you see the roast?
The roast? The Tom Brady roast? Oh, yeah. That was brutal.
Oh man, he let him frown.
That was brutal.
Oh man, yeah, it got real.
But I think that's cool that Netflix is going to a lot more live content now.
Yeah.
So
they might be doing podcasts pretty soon.
They might be doing podcasts, but they're doing, you see, and I'm going to jack it up, it's not WWF anymore. What is it, WWE? The wrestling. They're moving the wrestling to Netflix Live.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're going to, and I guess they're going to move it up from like a PG, like 13 to like, adult content with the wrestling now.
Okay.
And they're going to be putting that on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
So they signed a big contract.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty cool. Like Netflix is, I think they realize they need to start.
The money's out there. You got to expand.
Yeah, because you got all these other streaming services that are now competing. You got Amazon, Disney, Hulu.
Yeah, you're going to start losing. You got to start getting people.
You got Peacock. There's like 10 or 13 streaming sites now. So what are you doing so you ain't stagnant?
And I think it's YouTube.
YouTube got their own.
YouTube with the podcast right now is winning.
And I think that's the thing. Like, if you're a company, you got to realize, what are we going to do to grow so we don't become stagnant like Blockbuster and get shut down?
Got to expand.
So I think it's a smart move on Netflix to do a lot of these more live events.
I think it's a genius move.
One thing that I'm shocked Netflix and Amazon hasn't do, like Amazon does it a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah.
Global sport, soccer.
Oh, yeah.
The
soccer's, the soccer's going crazy. Like, here, we're down with it a little bit, but out of the U.S., the soccer is serious.
Yeah. We were kind of talking about that earlier. I was telling you we was talking about Amsterdam. I said that's one thing. You go to Amsterdam, you go to a soccer match over there.
It's real.
It is unbelievable, especially if it's a like Champions League match or Europa match, and it's in Amsterdam.
It's serious.
The city is insane.
I seen stuff. I was seeing like videos. I see them on buses. The teams on buses just going all the way up. Like they're turned all the way up.
Well, you got to watch a video later. So the Olympics kicked off in Paris today, right?
Okay.
Or it might have been yesterday. I forget when they kicked off, or it might just be warm-ups to the Olympics. But the U23 soccer team, Argentina, played Morocco.
Okay.
Morocco beat Argentina, and like fans just rushed the field, and it was insane. But I'll tell you what, after
play about that soccer.
After this last year, like with the not this last year, but the last World Cup, Morocco, they got a team.
Oh yeah,
they got a team. They want to compete, and it's going to be interesting to see the next coming years.
I didn't know that soccer was that serious.
Yeah.
It's serious. It's real.
Yeah, I got a taste of it when I lived in Europe, and I brought that taste back with me to the U.S. Got my buddy Jason hooked on it.
Yeah,
and it's funny. I keep telling people, you get to a real like soccer match, and you see the passion of the fans and just the excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a buddy down in Millville, and that's all. Every time I go over his house, that's all he has on TV.
Yeah,
like you take this serious. He's like, I'm telling you, this serious.
It's the fan base. So you been to I know you go to Steeler games all the time because I always see your pictures.
Yeah.
And you know how crazy the
Steelers.
You know how crazy the Steeler-Baltimore game is, right?
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And it gets wild.
It's crazy.
That's like preschool compared to a regular season soccer match over in Europe.
Wow.
That is just so mild.
Wow.
Like when you got cops lining the streets on horseback and just lines of cops, like hundreds of cops. And then you go in the stadium and you got the home side and the away side, and you got 2 rows of cops going up and down the stands.
It's crazy.
You know it gets wild.
I don't think y'all really understand what he's saying. The Steelers versus the Ravens is serious. Those games are serious. And he's saying that's nothing.
Yeah, like people in Pittsburgh, people in Baltimore will get it.
Yeah.
They'll get it. I'm sure. I don't know who Oakland's rival is or Dallas or any of those guys. But, when you got your biggest rival in town.
Soccer games.
Games get insane.
Okay.
Insane. And I'm telling you, you probably never seen it. I'm going to tell you, watch this movie. It's going to turn you into a soccer fan instantly. You're going to be like, yeah, I can get down with that. It's called Green Street Hooligans. It's an early like 2000 movie, like probably like real early 2000s or late 90s, and it has who was the dude who played Frodo in Lord of the Rings?
Okay, I know you're talking about
Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
So it has Elijah Wood.
Okay.
And you ever see the movie, TV show Sons of Anarchy?
I heard of it. I don't know if I watched it or not.
I'm trying to think what else. I want to say he was in. What was that movie where the aliens were coming up out of the water? Have you seen it? What's that?
Was it new?
Early 2000s.
Okay.
How about have you watched the movie Gentleman on Netflix with the weed?
I don't know.
Where they're over in London and they're moving all that weed.
Is it a good movie?
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. It has Matthew McConaughey and Charlie Hunnam. That's the guy's name.
Okay.
Charlie Hunnam. So he's in Green Street Hooligans.
Okay.
So him and Elijah Woods, they're the two main characters.
Okay.
And it's about a guy that goes over to England to kind of get away from school because some stuff happened, and he gets involved with these hooligans. So there's gangs here and there, but you remember back in the day, we grew up in McKees Rocks.
Yeah.
So you know how you had the terrorists, the bottoms.
Yeah.
Hey, if you was from the bottoms, we ain't fuck with the terrorists. You was from the terrorists, you ain't fuck with the bottoms.
Yeah, that's how I was with the Hayes Manor too.
The Manor and everywhere
terrorists
else.
ain't like the Manor.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Like the different projects. Hey, you don't come down here by yourself.
Yeah.
Back in the day. But so with soccer's kind of like the same way. If you got a club, that's your ride or die. So the movie Green Street Hooligans, it's about these hooligans, soccer fans that just fight. Oh. They go from soccer game to soccer game, and they just
getting it on.
They just get it on. like right after the match is over, it's ding ding ding, fight time.
What's his name? He's like a I think he's like a British guy. He got the bald head. Have you ever watched some Expendables?
Yeah.
His right hand man.
I know who you're talking about. I just watched The Beehive with him in it.
You know what I'm talking about with the bald head?
It's gonna drive me nuts. What is his name? But I know who you're talking about.
I seen him in something back in the day. There was a soccer movie, and it was like he was rolling around with his team, and anytime they seen anybody else, it was like they just mashed them. Mm-hmm. I'm like they don't even. This is serious. It's like gangs. The soccer teams are like gangs.
So like you go to London,
yeah,
and I'll never forget my first trip to London. They got like signs in like the different restaurants and pubs, no team colors.
Oh wow!
Like you can't go into a pub wearing like.
So the soccer teams are like gangs.
You can't
wear this team's colors.
Like they would not let you wear any colors whatsoever. So like you'll see like real. If you watch a match, a lot of people wear the scarves. They got multicolor on the scarves and everything else. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the pubs and everything, because stuff like people get passionate about their sport.
Yeah, they do. Look, we know. We from Pittsburgh. You talk about the Steelers. You already know.
You see so many videos of the stands, people fighting North Steelers.
Anywhere I go, though, the Steelers are known. Yeah, anywhere out of country.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wow, y'all know about the Big Ben. How y'all know Big Ben?
Well, that's you go anywhere in the country, anywhere out of the country, you can find a Steelers bar.
Steelers bars, they're everywhere. They're always out of the country.
Go to Ireland, go to London, go to Italy.
I didn't even know they was out there.
You go anywhere, you will find a Steelers bar.
That's crazy. Pittsburgh in the building.
It's because of Snoop Dogg, which I don't know how Snoop Dogg's a Steelers fan being out from Cali. You know what I mean? Because he raps everybody.
Caught on early. He caught early. He caught on to the early days.
It was because of the colors that he used to roll with, though.
It could have been the colors caught you, and then you turned to a fan after that.
Yeah, it's like,
Like, hold up, they got 4 Super Bowls. Hold up, now they got 5. Now they got 6. Hold up.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with them.
Yeah. But I love watching his videos when the Steelers lose, though.
Oh, yeah.
See him get pissed.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than seeing Snoop just cuss out Tomlin and everybody else.
He'd be mad as hell. I'd be like, oh, man. You been to any games?
I've been to a few. I don't deal well with large crowds.
Okay, I would say it's crazy down there.
It gets crazy. That's why I like just sitting at home. Mm-hmm. in front of the TV. Like a company I used to work for years ago, they used to have tickets. They'd have me take our clients out to games all the time.
Yeah, it gets crazy down there.
It's cool, but
as
it's
soon as they start playing that song.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in there get the waving them towels.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that goes crazy in there. Steelers country, Steelers County, we here.
But the best was I went to when I was stationed in St. Louis. Went to the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
And Steelers game, and I think it was when we had Willie Parker. That was the game Willie Parker broke his leg.
Oh man.
But that was, man, the St. Louis fans were hating on me because I had my terrible towels.
Yeah.
I was going nuts. Going nuts.
Yeah.
And that was a good time.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, you go to the away games, and some stadiums you go to, you see more Steeler fans than the home team.
You do. They said away games are like home games.
We travel well.
Yeah.
I know. There's a few guys we went to high school with. They just travel and go everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you remember the Longwells?
Yeah.
I know they used to do a lot of traveling to follow them all season long.
Yeah.
Because I want to say it was Mark Longwell. He converted like an old ambulance into like a Steeler van.
Okay. And they'd be out.
Oh yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. Like, we here in Pittsburgh, Steelers is it.
Yeah. So, you been following the Bronny James stuff?
Yeah, I've been checking them out.
So me and Jason did a lot of Bronny bashing.
Okay,
like a lot, because we both don't like LeBron.
Okay,
we don't like LeBron.
You don't like LeBron?
We don't like LeBron, and like we think our go-to was with what LeBron.
Do you don't like him, or you don't like that everybody hypes him up so much?
I think if you in a league for that long, and if you ain't the record keeper for everything, you're doing something wrong.
Okay.
When he first, I'll step it back. When he first came in the league, I was about LeBron.
Okay.
But I think his head got a little bit too big.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm more of a Kobe fan.
He got a lot of records, though.
Yeah, but when you in the league for 40 years.
But you 40 years old still doing what the 20-year-olds is doing.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. But my big thing was, like, I think Bronny took that transition a little too quick.
Too quick.
With USC, he wasn't putting up numbers with USC.
No, he wasn't even the best player on his team.
And we seen that like almost immediately the first like 4 games in the summer league.
Yeah.
And sadly now, because of FanDuel, I'm going to be rooting Bronny on, man. FanDuel, if you guys are into betting here and there, I'll tell you what, FanDuel, they got some future bets on Bronny James. If he scores 20 points, 25 points, 8 assists, and a bunch of randoms, like the odds, go check it out, and it's worth throwing a couple bucks on.
Type in code Dan T for your deals. Just joking.
Oh, wait,
just
FanDuel,
joking.
you want to throw me a sponsorship, FanDuel? I got you.
FanDuel throwing the sponsorship, and we can make it real.
But that's the thing. Like, I think it was like a double. I think $100 paid out like $4,000 or $5,000 for if he scores any time during the 24-25 season. I'm like, if you rolling with Pops,
that's definitely a lot. They count them out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's counting them out because I was counting them out.
And like you said, if you rolling with your dad, you ain't. That's like running home to the house and your dad at the door.
Yeah,
you ain't allowed to run home. You better get back out there and fight.
Yeah,
like I ain't no running home. You go out there and fight.
Well, I think he'll definitely get the 8 assists.
Yeah,
and that's one of the bets.
I think he's going to be pushed to do it.
LeBron's
going to make him do it.
I think he'll hit a double, and I think he'll do 20 to 25 points because I think
he's going to do the 20 to 25 easy.
Yeah,
LeBron's going to make sure.
LeBron, and I'm like, man, to throw $100 down, man, I spent more money on bourbon, so
might as well put it in and take the chance.
I put some money into the cryptocurrency and lost a ton, so what's it going to hurt me?
Take the chance.
I'm like, I'll take the chance.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, come on, Bronny. Bronny, you need to really show us what you can do.
Yeah.
Because now I got money riding on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop hating. And be a little
waiting.
team Bronny. Like come on. Because now I got a little invested in you.
Yeah, we're going to stop hating and we're going to start waiting for the change. Let's make it happen.
But my thoughts were, Do you think LeBron, or not LeBron, but Bronny even wanted to go to the NBA, or do you think his dad like kind of pushed him?
I personally think that I think LeBron is going to retire this year, and LeBron wanted to play 1 year with his son before he left. So he pulled some strings and got him pulled in.
Yeah.
But personally, I think the younger son, Bryce, is better than Bronny.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Bryce will get out on Bronny.
Bryce is on the, what is it, U19 or U23 Olympic team.
Okay, see.
So Bryce, I've seen a lot of highlights with Bryce.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Bryce's
he
future.
Has his game, like Bronny has game, but Bryce has game.
It's always the younger brother too. You
like
always
he
see
has
it all the time.
Around game, and he's taller.
Yeah,
like he's going to be taller. He's going to have his dad's size.
But the thing is too, like you
Ronnie's
see just
short.
in sports in general, it's always the younger brother because they playing with big brother and the older kids.
Go against everybody else.
Now I gotta push myself to be just as good as them.
Yes, so that's what I think is going to come in and kill him.
I think he's going to be a great player. I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
Yeah, I want to see him play. Like he's going to be nice.
But I watched the Space Jams with LeBron James.
Okay.
And all I could think of is maybe that's Bronny. Bronny just wants to sit home and play video games. He don't want to ball, and Dad's making him ball. Mm-hmm. And now, the last 2 games he put up some decent numbers. I'm thinking maybe Dad sat him down and be like, "Hey, you embarrassing Dad? I'm King James, bitch."
Yeah, like who your dad is, right?
I'm like,
you better start playing like I'm your dad.
You see that name on the back of your jersey? You better represent.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dad got in his ass. Like, you put up sorry ass numbers.
Like, you playing around now.
Yeah.
Like, stop playing.
Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in those conversations.
Oh, man. I know it gets, like, everyone probably thinks it's sweet, but it probably gets real.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think about it. It's like, because I look at Bronny, you see people who are doctors that want their kids to be doctors, or people who are lawyers want their kids to be lawyers. Their kids don't want to be doctors or lawyers. But they fall into the family business because that's what Dad wanted.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm thinking, like, man, does Bronny
you've been pushed.
You've been pushed and groomed. Do you even want to play basketball?
He really doesn't have the size that, it's like you're not going to be able to be too dominant.
No.
You're not really dominant now at all.
Yeah. You weren't dominant in USC. You ain't dominating Summer League. I'm like,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm like, is he doing it just to please his dad? Make that bag real quick, and then go do something maybe he's passionate about, or does he really want to play basketball?
I think he's kind of being pushed.
Yeah, I think Bryce, on the other hand, what Bryce is doing, I think he wants to play.
I think he got it.
I think he wants to play.
Well, he got it, and Bronny just had that. He had a heart situation like with DeMar had.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this too early?
Coming back, because that was like a year and a half ago?
Should you have let him finish college?
Yeah, did a little bit more rehab, a little bit more strength conditioning. And I think a lot of people forget about that.
Get your game better, yeah.
I think a lot of people, because I know if I dropped on a court or something like that, back of my head, that's going to stick with you.
Crazy.
Because that's like DeMar Hamlin. Like, I wonder what's going through his head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know he's getting ready for summer camp and everything else with the Bills.
Yeah.
But like, after something like that happens as an athlete, like what goes through your head to get you back on that field? Like, is a freak incident. Like, are you scared that's going to happen again?
As a parent, I would be scared. Like, this is just your child's dream, but it's like, do you want to stop their dream and tell them, look, you got to chill, don't do this again? Or do you still support? That's the hard part.
Yeah. I'm wondering how Nino and Mario and them feels. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. I swear.
I'm wondering what conversations they had with DeMar, and
like I definitely know Nina and Mario probably was going through it like, we don't want him to play no more.
Oh yeah.
But this is in his blood,
and that's what he wants to do.
Is that in Bronny's blood?
Yeah.
Do you think that he got that urge to play like that?
I don't know, because like, I I don't know. I don't know what his workouts are like without the team.
Yeah.
What work he's putting in. Like I know,
Yeah.
Pops has probably pushed him to, do some workouts and everything else.
Let's go.
But like how is his heart into it?
Like, see, with DeMar, like I seen him grow up. So he's from the Terrace.
Yeah.
He's from the same projects as me. So I seen him since a little kid out there running with the parachute bags on his back, and every day coming from practice with his little pads and helmet and stuff.
Little Vikings and everything else.
In his blood, like it's in you.
Yeah, that's something he wanted from a young age. But I mean, you see it with him. You see the videos and everything, and
Excuse me, folks.
The wifey's calling.
Excuse me, folks. She know I'm drunk.
Wifey's gonna be like, "Where you at?"
All right.
Be home in a minute, babe. I'm gonna finish this drink, finish this podcast. Give me 2 seconds.
Are you okay? You said you was going to go drink with your buddy who had the bourbon before.
Yeah, but but you see with DeMar, you see his passion.
Yeah.
And you seen it that first year when he was playing with the Bills.
As a kid, like once you got to the NFL, like I could see it all in him. It was,
Yeah.
But Bronny, it could be a father thing.
Yeah.
Like, come on, we going outside to shoot. Let's go. Come on, you going to play.
Because I don't think Nina or Mario like really pushed the football on him. You know what I mean? Like, some parents
Not
are like
too much. Mario did, but he didn't push on him. He was just supporting.
Yeah, more of a supporting parent. Like, hey, this is what you want to do. Let's do this.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's like I have a cousin. He played for Montour, went and played for IUP for Temple.
Okay.
Played for Temple, and then he played for Duquesne. But his dad like constantly pushed him.
Mm-hmm.
And like his heart wasn't like
he didn't want to do it.
He was doing it to make his dad happy. I think that's my personal opinion, and that's what I kind of got from some conversations that he was pushed that way.
Yeah.
And you see with some kids where they get to that level and they're like, I just want to chill out, play some video games,
Yeah.
go mess with some girls and
you
enjoy
on that
life.
line to decide, like,
Yeah.
all I take is just that. Come on, you got to do it. And
because I think when you got that work, like when you this little, when they pushing that work on you, at some point, if that ain't your passion, and you just doing it to please mom and dad,
it ain't gonna work out.
It ain't gonna work out right.
Yeah, I was watching a podcast yesterday, actually, with the boxers. You ever see the Grande twins?
Yeah.
They was on there, and then somebody was telling them about, like, you gotta have, if your heart and your mind ain't all the way, if this ain't what you want, you're gonna get hurt in the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's right. Like, you gotta really want to do this. You can't just do it because your brother, your twins doing it, or your parents want you to do it. It gotta be in you.
Yeah, I think that's with anything in life. I mean, absolutely. If your heart ain't in it, like why are you doing it? Like,
you're wasting time.
You're wasting time. That's like I had a job a while ago, a couple years ago. My heart wasn't into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing it for the paycheck. I was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why am I doing this? I quit my job. That's when I moved to London for a year.
Yeah.
Took a year off, moved to London just to
figure something out.
Yeah, I was like, I need to find something I like to do.
Yeah.
I think as adults, that's something we always forget about. Like, why we doing this for a paycheck?
Yeah. You want to enjoy your fruits while you could taste them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best thing. I don't want to work hard and for some fruits that I might not get the taste.
Yeah.
I want to eat this fruit right now.
I want to enjoy life.
Yeah, I want to enjoy it.
So you think we'll see DeMar get a little bit more playing time this year with the Bills?
I do. I hope he come to the Steelers. I want him to come to the Burgh.
I think everybody would like him to come to the Burgh.
He said he wants to retire as a Steeler.
And he got that relationship with Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, because he's from Pitt.
Yeah, so he got that good relationship. But I'll tell you what I love about DeMar. You see how he takes his little brother everywhere?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's like the greatest thing. Everything he does with his brother, he got his little bro with him.
Yeah, that's definitely a good trait.
That's good big brother energy.
Yeah, like, and that's going to just rub off on him. Like my brother going hard, he a star, and he got me here with him.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna want to go hard just to go. Like
Yeah, I think that speaks volumes of maturity for DeMar.
it does.
And it's so bad because like you had a younger sister.
Yeah.
I got a younger brother, and I know when like because we were so close in age, we butted heads constantly. And I see it with my buddy Jason, his kids. You know, they're a couple years apart, but you know I think because of the age difference, you know,
somebody got to be the boss.
You got that maturity,
I'm
which is
the big brother or big sister. So
yeah, you know, little bro's looking up. So now you watching everything you do.
Yeah,
make sure you putting that good energy and good footsteps out there for your little one.
Definitely. And like we said about the little ones too, that's what pushed the little ones to go harder. You always got a big bro or big sister, somebody that's doing more than you, and you just want to compete. Like I got to catch up.
Well, it's like my buddy Jason who does the podcast with me. His kids, they're a couple years apart, and the younger one, Milo, he's constantly playing with like Milo's like 7, I want to say, and he's constantly playing with like the 12 and 13-year-olds and soccer and he gets frustrated because he's trying to hold his own, but he's half the size of these kids. Yeah. So, you know, he's like, I'm not fast enough. I'm like, you got little legs, man. You'll catch up to him.
What he don't realize is when you go play with kids your age.
Oh, he dominates kids his age.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible. Like parents are going to be mad. Like, whose kid is that?
That's what we see because I coach his UA team.
See what I'm saying?
And we've seen it every week. He was just a menace on the field.
See what I'm saying? When you playing with the motor kids and you pushing yourself that's in you. It's in you. Like, I want to go hard. I want to compete.
Well, that's the thing I love. He always tells us, he's like, I want to be a premier soccer player and play for Tottenham. And I was like,
it's real.
I was like, you better put that work in.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Oh, man. Well, it's really good catching on. Then,
definitely.
For you cut this podcast, have another quick pour before you got to bounce out.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks for tuning in to Bullits and Bourbon. Thank Justin so much for coming on and filling in.
Appreciate y'all having me.
For Jason, hopefully we can get him on another episode down at Jason in the Bunker Bar. Have some good conversations, walk him into some more bourbon.
It looks crazy down there, Jason.
Got to get you down there. So, hey, thank you again. Jason will be back this weekend, and we'll be back down at the Bunker Bar. So make sure you stay tuned, and we have some good things coming up. Make sure to check out Patreon. We're going to be doing some giveaways just for our paid members on Patreon. And I'll be putting that information out a little bit later today or tomorrow. And again, thank you for following Bullits and Bourbon. Have a great night.
All right.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.